How often do you guys have dreams about plane crashes? I gotta say, you looked a little rough this morning when we arrived.
You keep saying that. I feel fine.
Well, I got here.
I haven't been getting the best sleep, but
well, I came in the door. You didn't say good morning. You're just like, ugh.
Okay, this is my cat is on a new feeding schedule, and she wants to eat between 8 a.m. and 9 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I go to sleep at 2 or 3. So, 5 or 6 hours into sleep, I'm constantly getting woken up by my cat.
Yeah,
meowing for food.
I get woken up by my upstairs neighbor's dog. So that happened to me at 5:30 this morning, which was really rough. Because it's just the most. No matter what, it doesn't matter what schedule I'm on. I will never be awake at 5:30, ever. I'm never. At 5:30 is a time that no matter what, I will be asleep at, and it fucking drives me crazy.
I'm gonna starve her and wear earplugs to get better sleep, I think.
Yeah, I think it's well, I
gotta put number 1 first.
I saw your feeding schedule this morning, and it was a little disturbing.
Why is that disturbing?
I watched you do something that I've never seen anyone do before. I've heard of like raw dogging pre-workout, where you take the pre-workout and you dump it in your mouth. But this morning I watched you take a scoop of creatine, throw it in your mouth, and then swirl the water around.
Yeah,
I've never seen anyone do that before.
It's really efficient. It dissipates, and it doesn't taste like anything.
The efficiency is not the issue. It's
you just got to get your creatine in.
I know, but the general chalkiness.
Not
even if
all of us want to look like a middle-aged woman.
All right,
the rest of
well,
our
you know what? I
lives.
guess we're gonna insult everyone's appearance like we did in last week's episode.
Pasty white bitch like me. No one wants to look like this.
Like we insulted Brandon 7 days ago. But I personally think that creatine, for me, if I need to get my creatine in, I need to mix it with like lemon powder and salt and sort of like blend it into something where I'm not going to taste it. And you're just like, fuck it, dude. I love chalk.
Do you need to like light a candle too before you?
All right. Well, you know what? I'm trying to get jacked, and I will get jacked. I did abs yesterday, and I'm really sore. So
wow. Just abs?
I went for a run too.
Okay, nice.
With our later podcast guest, Alec Flynn.
Oh.
We had a nice little jog, dude. We had a jog around the lake. It was good. Cleared the old noggin. Got ready. I'm trying to get my laps in because it's supposed to be 95 next week. So you got to just.
It's getting hot.
It's getting hot.
I'm heading to Florida.
Yeah, what are you gonna do down there?
I'm getting tattooed for 3 days.
Oh, that's right, dude. You're talking about your little back tat.
Yeah.
Big back tat.
Yeah, lower back. Just the lower back.
Just the lower back.
Yeah.
It's a very elaborate 3-day butterfly tattoo.
It's got some swirls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the is there any situation where it's like appropriate to have a lower back tattoo as a man?
No. No. I mean, I can't think of one.
I used to have a joke about getting a butterfly tattoo, but it's.
What if you were a plumber and you got like a QR code above your plumber's crack to leave a 5-star review?
That's pretty good.
That's a good use of tramp stamp tattoo.
I will tell you the craziest tattoo I've ever seen.
That's pretty good.
I was a younger man, and I was at a gentleman's club.
What kind of gentleman's club?
They have artists there.
Nice.
Yeah, who do dancing, performative art, and
Brandon's a fan.
and one of the young artists had a sunflower tattooed on her butthole.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Like the center
But
of the.
and she showed it to everyone.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that memory will haunt me forever. Can't forget that.
It's just gross because I'm thinking of like the way that the seeds look with the sunflower. You know, like where the petals.
The petals surrounding the.
Oh, that's like that. Honestly, makes me want to throw up.
Yeah.
She should get fired from the gentleman's club.
Was
this in Florida? This sounds like some
Florida.
This sounds
This
like
is
some
in
Florida
Florida.
behavior.
Yeah.
That shit's not gonna fly at the Yellow Rose.
Yeah, I can't ever get that image out of my mind.
Sometimes you think about it, dude.
Whenever we talk about like weird tattoos, it comes to my mind for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of a butthole tattoo. That's pretty good. Ugh.
I wonder who the artist, who did it.
It's probably sicko. I mean, I know there's like some tattoo artists where they won't do certain things. Like some artists won't do face tattoos, and some artists, I think almost everyone doesn't do like swastikas.
Also, how did she handle that? So tattoos, the more sensitive the spot, the more it hurts. So I imagine around the anus, the asshole is extremely sensitive. So, like, for instance, my armpit, like up in the armpit, excruciating pain.
Really?
Oh yeah, or inner thigh. I have a tattoo that goes all the way up to my inner thigh. It's real sensitive.
How far up do you got it up on the balls?
It goes pretty far here.
Mm.
So super excruciating pain with the more sensitive it gets. I can't imagine spreading open and getting your, that's
butthole tattoo. That's
the pain has to be amazing.
yeah, dude. Women with bad tattoos, it does kind of ruin them. Like you can. Do you like the ones where there's like a tat below the titties right on the chest?
Yeah,
I've never been into that.
They're kind of hot.
All right, so there's something I wanted to tell you about. I'm one of my old apartment buildings is trying to scam me actively at the moment. So I've lived in 3 places since I've lived in Austin. I've lived in the bungalow Corazon before that, and then I live at a building right now. So the first place that I lived in when I moved here is this building called the Corazon. It's a complete shithole, like absolute fucking nightmare. The Corazon was probably the worst apartment building I've ever lived in my life. Like when I moved here, I got a 2-bedroom there for a really good deal, and I moved in, and I'm on the 3rd floor. I got a unit looking out at the city, 2-bed, big, beautiful, and then you walk down the hallways in the building. What happened was during the Texas freeze, which happened in January of 21, evidently some pipes burst in the ceiling, and they had them like covered up with plastic tarps, and they didn't fix it for the first year that I was there. It was just fucked up. And then in the hallways, it was like carpeted hallways, but it was a dog-friendly building, so people's dogs would like shit in the hallway, and they had a trash valet, so you could just leave your trash outside of your door, and people would take it away. So like people got like trash oil into the carpets and stuff.
Are you sure you weren't at a homeless shelter?
The building was fucking disgusting. So when I moved out, I literally went down to the leasing office and I said, hey, I just want to let you guys know, like, if there is any issue with the move out, like, I'm going to fucking full freak out. Like, you guys have been just awful tenants, like awful landlords. You've done a horrible job, like, taking care of the property. This place is disgusting. And if you try to take money from me when I leave, I will freak out. Like, I'm gonna just like let you have it online in every capacity. And they go, no, you don't owe any money. We inspected the unit. You're good to go. And I dropped the keys off, and I literally didn't trust them to give me my money back. So not try to take money from me. So when I dropped the keys off, no one was there, and I like filmed myself dropping the keys off in the office. So I moved out of there in May 2023. Everything's fine for the last 2 years. I get a bill from them for $650 last week.
Yeah.
And
you know what to do with those, right?
Throw them in the garbage.
Yeah.
But I got a voicemail the other day saying that I owed $650. So
you know what to do with that, right?
Should we give them a call and see what's happening with the $650?
You just ignore it, but yeah, if you want.
I mean, have you ever?
I've had an issue like that.
Yeah, you owe $650. Get the fuck out of here.
You just ignore.
Yeah, you ignore the fuck out of it.
You ignore.
So I want to.
The legal fees, they can't. It's all a threat.
It's a total threat, but I want to.
Yeah, but they don't do anything about it.
So what happened was this building was owned by another company, and then another company bought it. So Brandon, if you go to Graystar, if you type in Reddit, Graystar trying to take money from me after I moved out, there's so many stories of this place.
Oh, this is a common occurrence.
Yeah, check this out. This is fucking insane. So yeah, go to the top one.
Yeah, if you just ignore it, they don't do anything about it. They just send you threats.
So check this out. Moved out
Empty
last
threats.
year, and now they just sent me an email collecting $1K upon move out. They walked through the apartment, said it looked good. Now all of a sudden they're charging me $1K, $250 for painting, and hundreds of dollars for cleaning. I get that I lived in Oakland and California, so things are pricey, but this is too much. Literally insane. Keep going down. All right, so if we look at the comments, I think the comments are going to tell you to do the same thing. Classic Graystar move. If they approve the walkthrough, you can dispute this by asking for receipts, photos, and proof the charges aren't for normal wear and tear. Did you take any photos or get any documentation doing the leasing, accepting keys? Better start with your proof, if any, then ask for theirs after. Wait. Keep Brandon. That last thing right there. Okay. It might be your U.S. credit, but if you're not paying rent or borrow in the U.S. again, it probably won't matter. Still better to battle it. Okay, so there's no way they can actually ding your credit for this, though, because they're just saying that they owe you money. Yeah, this place is a fucking scam artist, and should we threaten to bring in Goob?
I don't think it'll make much difference, but
Here we go.
this is your big idea on the pod today, is to call and complain to your old apartment complex.
All right, dude. At least I'm putting in effort. All right. Okay. So they honestly left me a voicemail, and I've tried calling them back. They don't answer the phone.
It's a warming, nice, welcoming voice.
I'm unable to take your call. I work at a...
She sounds sweet.
All right. Yeah.
You should pay him. You should just pay him. We moved out. So I moved out at 18 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I always wanted to be independent. So I moved out at 18. No money, really. But I had friends, and we all split a 3-bedroom apartment, and came out to like $300 each or something.
Mm-hmm.
Something we could afford. I was driving a moped, and I got a job as a waiter. And anyway, we moved out, and apparently the complex didn't like the way we left the place.
Mm-hmm.
We might have left it a little dirty. So we might have. I mean, not too bad. Nothing crazy. But then they billed us all and told us they were coming after us, and it's all empty threats.
It's all empty threats, and the craziest part about this was like, dude, on the day that I moved out, the leasing office closed at 5, and so I went down there at 4:00 to drop off keys and talk to them, and there's nobody there. They just like all had left early for the day, but they'd left everything unlocked. So I went in, I dropped the keys off. I filmed myself walking through this empty apartment, filmed myself walking through their leasing office. Nobody's there. I leave the keys. And then the craziest part is they're asking for $650, and they just sent a bill saying you have unpaid charges.
Yeah.
And they didn't tell you what it's for, what's the reason.
Have they sent you another bill for a lower amount yet?
No.
Do you know that that's how the healthcare system works?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I found that out. If you go to the ER, let's say, and you're sick or you want to get some pain meds or whatever, if you don't pay, they send you a bill in the mail, and then they send you a notice, and then they send you a warning of a late fee notice or whatever, and then you wait longer, then they send you another bill. And it's a reduced, if you can't pay the original bill, can you pay this amount? And they keep going lower.
Yeah, because I think what happens is they sell the debt to another company.
And then it's hey, do you want to settle this for a percentage of it?
So if they owe you $1,000, another company will just buy the debt for $200 and then try to get whatever they can on it.
It just shows how much of a scam the original pricing is.
So when I had the bird scooter accident, I got stitches and the bill was $1,300. And,
just wait a little. It'll go down.
This is what's fucking crazy. So I go in. I didn't have an ID because I'd lost my wallet. So I just filled out this form, and all I really gave them was my phone number. And so I waited. I called them. My dad was like, you should call and try to negotiate a lower rate or they're going to come after you at some point. So I called them. I didn't get on the phone with anybody, and then nothing happened. I didn't hear from them for months. And then 8 months later, I got a voicemail saying, hey, this is so-and-so from this company. We've been trying to get a hold of you about the bill. You owe $1,300 for your stitches. And I was like, okay. And so I waited another couple months, and then I called them, and they were like, yeah, we're under new management. Like the urgent care got bought out by another company. So you're going to have to check in with the old company. And dude, I don't want to jinx it. I never heard about the 1300 ever again.
Yeah.
No one has contacted me.
Yeah.
So
Fell through the cracks.
I think, yeah, when the urgent care got sold, for whatever reason, they flipped it over to another company, and I just like
the debt just got eaten up.
I bet you what happened was when the other hospital bought it, they're like, okay, we'll try to get all the debt contracts over X amount, and the rest of them we'll just get rid of them. Like, we don't want to be tracking people down for $200.
Yeah. I have a friend who's in the gambling world who went to the hospital for, I think it was something serious, and ran up like a $30,000 or $40,000 tab. And he has no proof of income, and he just, you know, he's a gambler. He has some cash on hand, but didn't have 30 or 40K. He just offered them like the amount he had. He's like, I don't have a way to make more money. This is what I have. Will you take it?
Mm-hmm.
And I think he offered him like 8,000, and then they squashed it.
Really?
They squashed it for, yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. He's like, I have 8. This is all I have. Will you take it? And we're even. Like he's talking to a bookie. And they're like, yeah, all right, done. Give us the 8.
Holy fuck.
Cough it up.
Just cough it up,
Cough
dude.
it up. All right, we're square.
We got some
like a 30, 40K bill. He's like, I got 8. Will you take 8?
Holy shit.
I'll give you 8, and we're even. He haggled with him.
Dude, $8K on a $30K debt.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, I mean,
It's a business. They're like, well, we're not going to get any more out of this guy. He doesn't have a job.
so I think that's why, like, the entire U.S. healthcare system gets fucking, like, eaten up, and why, like, okay, I am a believer that, like, socialized medicine might work in the U.S., but one reason why it definitely might not work is because the way that it works currently is, like, any company just bills insurance whatever they think they can get out of insurance, and they just try to maximize as much profit as possible at every fucking hospital in the U.S. Like, it's all for-profit healthcare systems. And so, dude, like, I've had it be where you go somewhere and they go, okay, yeah, well, we bill your insurance $350, but if we can't get it through insurance, we bill you like $200. And you're like, okay, so you're just ripping off. That's why the insurance premiums are so high, is because you're charging almost like 50%
It's
more.
all a scam.
It's a fucking joke.
Yeah, you pay cash, you get a big discount.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
I had where they called me about a medical bill, and they were like, hey, did you come to the hospital this day? And I was just like, no. And then they went, oh, we're so sorry. We'll take you off the list. Have a great day. And that was the extent of the convo. You're horrible at your job.
What a great answer.
Yeah, I was just like,
nope.
No. And they were like, oh, like, there wasn't any, like, are you sure? They went, oh my God, we're so sorry.
We must have the wrong Brandon.
Yeah, I was like, no, yeah, good shit. Thanks, guys. Bye. Never heard about it. It's very weird. I think it's like the Texas toll tags out here. If you don't have a Texas driver's plate, you just don't have to pay them.
Wait, what?
So all my friends who moved from California took forever to get their tolls. I always paid my tolls if I took it like a chump, but they all racked up like thousands of dollars of debt. And then when they switched their plates over, I thought they'd have to pay it. Nope, nothing. All the debt went away with the dead plate.
Holy fuck.
Just none of it. And I also don't think you even have to pay the Texas one. People all the time are like, don't pay it.
I have a toll tag like sitting on my car, and I just have it set to auto pay. I've never looked at it. I have no idea how much money they whack me for each month.
I got a scare the other day with the tolls because I lease.
Mm-hmm.
So I lease. I've been leasing for 9 years, 12 years. And I kept getting texts about tolls that I owed. So I looked up my license plate, and it said I owed like $55,000 in tolls. Oh. And my heart like sank, and then I guess how the leasing works, it's like they have like one big account for all the cars that are leased.
Oh my God.
And they kind of pay it, and then they bill it in your lease.
It's like a rental car company where they're
Basically, yeah. So I was looking up the leasing company's toll bill, basically through my tag. It wasn't. I thought I was liable. I was like, I know I hadn't paid these tolls in a while, but that's
fucking crazy.
yeah. These late fees are ridiculous.
That is like one of my worst fears is that I just forget about something and then just months later you just get some bill.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, retard.
You owe us $9,000.
That they'll come back and just be like, hey, you remember those stitches that you thought you didn't have to pay for? You dumb. You thought they forgot about you when they switched hospitals? How dumb
The cops
are you?
just show up.
You owe us $30,000 with interest now. I'm like, fuck. I'm a debt prisoner, dude.
Yeah, fuck. I didn't think that could be a possibility. They're like you ever hear the story where Target knew the girl was stealing, so they let her steal over $1,000 so they could prosecute her for felony theft instead of petty theft?
Oh, that's not just one girl. That's what they do with everyone.
That's lit.
So
Isn't that entrapment?
So you can look it up. If you go to Target, and I was by the way stealing from Target for quite a while at the self checkout, but then I got to know the security guards and I started to feel bad, so I stopped doing it. But the way that I would do it is I would go to the self checkout, and I'm working the self checkout. You didn't train me in how to do this, so if I run something over the scanner and it doesn't scan, that's on you guys. That's not on me.
Sure.
I tried my best.
Those things are getting sophisticated. The self checkout scanners with the weight and the
Yeah, they're
pretty annoying because you scan it. It's like put it in the basket. You can't
Yeah.
put it anywhere else. You have to put it in the.
I know.
thing.
Sometimes like you get like you're just there getting M&Ms and you're like, but I don't want to put the M&Ms.
Yeah,
in
and
the
it
basket.
needs to be weighted.
I want to hold the M&Ms.
Yeah, you can't.
Stop it.
It won't move until you put it down on the scale.
Despite the fact that late stage capitalism is an immoral hellhole. What socialist website is this?
I don't
Brandon?
know. I was just trying to figure out I was just trying to find an article that talked about it because it's only YouTube videos, and I'm not trying to watch them be like, well, actually, what she did wrong.
Go to the Reddit one. I think that's the move. Is Target's anti-theft strategy solid or stupid? Target allegedly has an unique anti-shoplifting strategy. The strategy is that they record people coming into and leaving the stores, and if someone steals something, they just let them and record the person doing so and the value of the item stolen. When the value of a thing exceeds a certain amount, generally told is the minimum for grand theft in a grand jurisdiction, then Target will exercise its shopkeeper's privilege to detain a person, call the police, and request charges files. So grand theft is $1,000, so you fucking nailed it, Brandon. That's yeah, because I've heard somebody talking about this where I was telling someone sort of what I by the way, what I said earlier was a joke. This is a comedy podcast.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, yeah. When I told someone what I allegedly used to do at Target, when I told them what I allegedly used to do at Target, JC's staring at my legs. He's going, look at your fucking buttery little legs, dude. Look at your skinny little legs. But
They're so smooth.
they told me that they were like probably actively keeping track, and I better make sure that I don't steal $1,000 worth of stuff from Target because they will come after you. So
Couldn't I go steal $999 from Target and then like go to a different Target and steal $999?
I think they keep track because it's all one company.
It's like a punch card.
Yeah,
Fuck.
so they're running it up on you, but maybe in different states because it's grand theft larceny in different states.
Or just one time. Everyone gets $999 worth of free shit from Target.
$9.99.
We're gonna do a poker hand.
We have a write-in question actually this week.
A write-in question.
Yeah. So Brandon, do you want to read this one out loud?
Yeah, I'll read it for you guys. All right. So I was in a tournament where we were at a rowdy table. The dealer is dealing the cards. One of my cards gets dealt and kind of flips up a little bit. The dude who is being kind of a dick the whole time says he thinks he might have seen my card. He says, I think you have a face card. I look at my hand. I have ace king. He's right, but I don't want to give back my card. So I just play it off. I say, that's what you think. Like, it wasn't really. The dealer didn't seem to hear this. So I raise. Everyone folds except the guy. The run out happens. It's 2, jack, 3. I bet. He calls. Then another jack. So they have 2, 3, jack, jack. We both check. The last card is a 10. But I didn't hit anything. All I have is ace high. The guy bets a third stack, like 250,000 chips.
It's a tournament, by the way, so it's 250K. So, but it's not like the full thing. Keep going. Sorry.
No, that's a good thing to explain. I call, we flip. He has king queen, and this dude loses it. He's like, "You shouldn't have kept that card. I saw your card. That should have been a new deal." He starts accusing me of angling him, calls me a weasel, says I'm a trash poker player, threatens to get the camera involved, just full meltdown mode. And I'm sitting there like, dude, you have an advantage. You knew one of my cards. If you thought it was a problem, you should have stopped the hand right then. You still played it out. Technically, yeah, I should have been given a new card, but he didn't say anything to the dealer that stuck. Dealer didn't hear him, didn't pause play, and he kept playing. So who's really at fault? He only flipped out because he lost the hand. If he'd won, he wouldn't have said a word, I think.
It's a question from our good friend Aaron Sorosi.
I know Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron's former poker coach. Have you ever seen a situation like this go down before?
A million times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the verdict?
I have I have a great story about that during the main event. In this situation, a ruling needs to be like you need to call the floor for the card or like for the decision to be made, because there's an angle people can take of like, even if they didn't see a card when the dealer's pitching, you can't have people just saying, "Hey, I think you have an ace."
Mm-hmm.
And then if you look down and have an ace, you have to turn it over, because that's not fair.
It's not fair at all.
So he needs.
And then you also need to. They could also just be saying that so they could figure out what card you don't have. They could just like probe you.
Yeah, I think in this spot, like if the player's certain that the card flashed, then they call the floor, and then he needs to tell the floor what he thinks he saw, and then the floor can look at the hand, and then I think he can turn it over. But you can't just like, "Hey, I think I saw this card." You gotta, if you have that, you gotta turn it up.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's an angle in itself.
So this guy, the guy that's calling out Aaron, what if you actually think you saw an ace get flipped over, or you actually saw a card? Like let's say it's the opposite situation where it's not an ace. You see, we're all playing poker. You see that I have a 2. You know that I have a 2, but no one else noticed that you saw it. Can you just ride on that information?
Yeah, I mean, it's you don't really do that in poker. So if I see it's an unfair advantage.
Okay, so here's the official TDA rules on exposing and proper card flipping or folding.
Yeah, if it's
Treat it as a misdeal if it's one of the first 2 whole cards dealt.
If it's one of the first 2 cards off the rip,
Mm-hmm.
then the whole hand has to be redealt. It's a misdeal. If it's after the 2 cards, then the card can be replaced. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
However, if it's accidentally exposed by the dealer and not one of the first 2 whole cards, the deal can continue and the card is replaced with the next burn card. A player who exposes their own card may face a penalty, but their hand is typically declared dead unless the exposure was intentional and designed to influence the betting.
So it sounds like if it was really that big of a deal, that guy should have pressed the issue and had it stop there. It sounds like he didn't vocalize it enough. And the dealer didn't think it was that big of a problem.
Yeah. So if you expose the card yourself, you don't get a new card. You don't get to replace that card. Because if that was allowed, then you'd have people angling, like if they're dealt an ace and then the next card they get is a deuce and they see it's a deuce and they just kind of like flip it up. Like, "Oh, look, it exposed. I need another card."
Mm-hmm.
So you can't have that.
So that's
so it can't be.
And then
that's
you're
intentional.
out.
That's you flipping the card up or you exposing it to try to get a new card. That's an angle. So that's not allowed.
So if you accidentally flip over your own card, though, you're stuck with.
Doesn't matter if it's an accident. If you cause it to flip,
yeah,
then it's on you,
mm-hmm.
and you have to keep the hand or the hand gets killed. But if the dealer, if the card bounces and flips up or exposes to the table, you can get a new card.
Makes sense.
But there is like some gray area where it's like, "Hey, I think I saw this card." Kind of flashes. Now you're in a spot where it's like, are you certain? can you name the exact card? So like what I've seen happen is a guy's like, hey, I think I saw the king of spades, and then the floor comes over and looks at the hand, and it's like pocket eights or whatever. He's like, and then he just lets the hand continue. But if he looks down and there is the king of spades, he'll turn it up.
I mean, that is kind of tough though, because you could just accuse someone of having a card,
Yeah,
bring the floor over.
Then common sense comes into play, where like the floor is like, if this is happening
multiple
frequently,
times,
and it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you're gonna get kicked.
You're
out
doing
of
this on purpose.
It sounds like a lot of poker is just getting invited to games and shit. So it would probably, if you kind of act like that all the time.
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of shenanigans in the public games, in public rooms, because no one's friends and they're all trying to take each other's money. So they're gonna take any angle possible, and they're gonna try to use the rules in their favor. There's a lot of angling that goes on in public games.
Yeah, I mean, have you
especially from people that are new?
So you said you had some story about something similar happening, right?
Yeah, it just always stuck with me. I mean, it's like it's spilt milk, but I'm in the main event, day 2, and I get dealt an ace off the rip. So I have one whole card, it's an ace. The dealer's going around the table, pitches me my card. It hits flat on the table, it bounces, and then lands, and no one sees it. Like it just bounces a little bit. It doesn't flash, it doesn't turn, it just hits the felt and kind of does like a little skip and then comes into my hand. The dealer reaches and grabs the card and says, "That card exposed," and never exposed to anyone, and turns it up, and it's another ace.
Oh.
So I would have had aces, and then the hand under the gun had kings, and the big blind had queens. And I would have like won this massive triple up pot in the main event in day 2. Instead, I get dealt like ace 7 and fold preflop.
Fuck.
And that's the dealer deciding that she thought it flashed when it never did.
And there's nothing that you can do in that situation.
No, she grabbed it so fast and turned it up. And all it did was just kind of skip.
Bro. Oh, fuck. That sucks. And so you're cooked.
Yeah, well, in the moment, like, pretty, tilted. It's like it didn't expose.
Did that affect, did you get eliminated from the tournament pretty quickly after
I
that?
busted the next day.
Wow.
Day 3.
Okay.
But that would have been a big pot.
How many years ago was this?
A long time ago.
Mm.
There's a pro at the table that is an old friend of mine. His name's Daryl Fish, and I kind of was complaining a little bit, and he was like, "Dude, he was the voice of reason. He's like, there's literally nothing you can do about it. Move on." It's like, yeah, you're right.
That's the toughest situation, though, when you're in that situation of, okay, there's literally nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, you just want to.
What's the alcoholic's prayer? Where they go, "God help me move past the things I can't change, and the courage to change the things that I." What's the fucking thing?
That's an alcoholic's prayer?
I think so.
Oh.
I think they say it in AA.
After they destroy their families' lives. They destroy their entire lives. Help me get past this thing I cannot change.
If we keep living the way that we've been living for the last week, we may end up there too.
We'll be in a gutter.
We're on the way.
Yeah, we've had too many drinks.
The last 7 days, if that was the way that I lived every 7 days, I think I would not be the same guy. I would just be probably perish.
Yeah.
Because do you ever have like you wake up one day, like today I woke up and I've got a friend sleeping on my couch, another friend. So I just had a friend in town Saturday through Wednesday, and now I've got a friend in town Thursday through Monday. And it's great. It's awesome having visitors. It's very nice to have friends that visit. It's amazing. You've got a friend staying with you as well.
Yeah.
And it's awesome to party and stay out till 4 a.m. and somehow end up at a nightclub where you don't get kicked out after 3 a.m. Fucking great. It's awesome to go out on a Tuesday and go to bed at 5 a.m. But goddamn, when you do it for a week, you're like, yesterday Wednesday, I decided not to drink, and then I came in here Thursday morning and went, dude, I can't even think right now. Yesterday I had a date that I was supposed to go on at 6 p.m. and she canceled, and I went, thank God. She texted me and she's like, hey, I can't make it. And I'm like, perfect. I don't want to drink anymore. I can't do this.
Perfect. I hate you.
I'm out, bro. I'm fucking out.
I don't ever want to talk to you again.
So I took 2 days off of boozing, but I haven't done any like real work. Like I haven't stuck with the writing. I haven't been going to the gym. I haven't been working out consistently.
Nice.
I have not been editing videos, and I'm just like falling behind, and I can feel it. And I'm just showing up unprepared to shows, and I'm like, dude, I am fucking done. I think I'm starting to realize something. I had like a dream last night about being in what I thought was San Diego and trying to get to the airport, not being able to get there. And in my dream, San Diego did not look like San Diego. It looked like this. And I think what happened is I've looked at Brandon's lock screen enough where it's like permeated into my mind and created an alternate San Diego where I can't get to the airport.
This is what you see in your dreams. That sucks. I'm sorry.
How often do you guys have dreams about plane crashes?
Not very often.
Being in a plane. I have a dream about being in a plane crash once a month. And then the plane crash. When the plane's crashing, I'm not nervous. I always just accept it. And I'm like, this is the end. Here we go.
No fear.
No fear. And I just let it go. And then the plane hits. And then instead of it crashing, we just like land in some random place. And then I'm lost.
I don't dream too often anymore. I did practice dreaming for a while. I got into lucid dreaming.
Really?
Yeah, that's real.
And so did you just like practice getting dreams of guys giving you back shots over and over again?
No.
No?
No.
That's no
I swear.
Manifestation.
No, there's a book There's a book you can read, and then there's practices that you do, and then it causes you to lucid dream. It's called the Tibetan Yogas of Dream and Sleep. And it's quite intense.
Did you find it helpful?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to lucid dream.
Did you enjoy lucid dreaming, or was it like?
Yeah, I mean, you really get into it. It gets pretty wild because you start. I mean, your waking life and your dream life start to kind of merge, and you don't. It kind of feels like you don't really know what's real and what's a dream.
Sounds horrible.
No, it's kind of entertaining. You also, when you really get into it, you start, being able to do whatever you want in your dreams. You can just fly.
Bang a dude.
No, I mean, well, what's funny is like after practicing the methods for weeks, and then like the first time I remember it happening. So there's this method. One of the things, a sleep routine is a habit that you have to start practicing. Like an hour before you go to sleep, you need to prep your body for sleep. Journaling, dream journal. Anytime you wake up from a dream, you immediately write it down.
How do you prep for sleep?
No screens. You can, like sit quietly, stretch.
I've been doing that for a while lately, where I've been like,
you kind of like wind your body down.
Yeah, I go to bed at like 12:30 or 1, and around like 11:30 I take my phone, I put it in the living room, and I charge it in the living room, and I do 20 minutes of stretching.
That's
candle
a sleep
lit.
routine.
That's it. Just candles, no nothing, and then I like brush my teeth, read, and then sometimes do another activity that's pretty that preps me for sleep.
So there's the dream journaling. Anytime you wake up from a dream or wake up in the morning, you immediately write it down, because throughout the day, your memory of that dream will start to fade. And that's why, like, you wake up, you're like, what was that dream about? Like, I don't really. But if you write it down immediately and then you read it before you go to bed, that will increase the odds of you becoming aware during your dreams, becoming conscious. Like, so. And then there's a method of counting your fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you do this as you go to sleep. I don't know why it works, but the first time it worked, I did it for days, and then eventually I go to sleep and I start dreaming, and in the dream I look down at my hand and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's a sixth finger. And as soon as I see the sixth finger, I'm like, oh, this is a dream. And I'm completely awake in the dream. And I know it's a dream. And I have full control over what I want to do.
Ooh.
And I immediately have sex with a girl. So after like weeks of practicing and unlocking the secrets of the universe, immediately I have sex. It's
Hell
like
yeah.
the one thing I want to do. I don't want to fly. I don't want to experience anything else. Just immediately, it's like the monkey brain just wants to fuck.
I had a while where I kept having dreams of like meeting just incredibly hot women and then like getting right on the verge of like fucking them, and then I would wake up right before I would fuck them every single time. Would always wake up right before it went down. And in like the dream, just it's you want the sex so much more than you want it in real life, where you're just like, I need this, I need it. It's gonna be amazing.
I think the second time I chose flying.
How was flying?
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what the book's saying is you're basically exploring other realities, and that there's no difference between the dreams of the night and the dreams of the day. So it's like, and then when you start lucid dreaming all the time, then your waking life and your dreams are indistinguishable because you're fully conscious in both, and you start to you're unable to really tell the difference. So the gist of the book is that it's all dreaming, like we're always dreaming.
Well, yeah, because it's your conscious projection of whatever you want to call reality.
This is just the dream that we're most aware of, or most conscious in, and it feels the realest.
Makes sense. I mean, dude, yeah,
it's a great book if you want to. I mean, I haven't practiced it in years, but when I did, it was great. Tibetan Yogas of Dream and Sleep.
I mean, dude, to like go back what we were talking about just before, like when you go on like a week-long bender, it's crazy how like your waking state, which is the exact same state that you were living in a week before, it just becomes totally different just because you're just like grogged out and fucking like just cooked, and you're going through this reality and you're trying to fucking just like engage and go to the coffee shop and do the work and like sit at the computer, and you're like your brain's just like,
feel like
fuck.
You have so much weight on you and like you're dirty.
Yeah, that's
Nothing's
the way that
clear.
I felt.
Yeah. Well, that's when you practice alcoholism and partying, that's the result you get, is you get cloudy vision and you feel disgusting and weighted down and low energy, and it's like a lower state. And then when you practice staring at a flame in silence in a dark room for hours a day, or you practice dream journaling or meditation, whatever you want to call it, then you start to get cities, they call them, like spiritual powers. You start to become aware in your dreams, and your energy skyrockets through the day, and it just depends on what you want to experience.
Yeah, what I want to experience.
Lately, we've wanted to experience hell, so we're drinking a lot.
There's been some non-hellish moments in there that have been pretty fun.
Sure, but then you wake up and
you're like, fuck.
That was not worth it.
I mean, dude, I think the hardest part of this is a very common challenge that I think is like in stand-up and poker is the inconsistent sleep schedule. Or it's like, yo, I want to go to bed at 12:30 every night, and I want to wake up at 8:30 and do that every day. And I know that my brain feels best when that's the schedule that I'm on. But man, like you're cruising, you're living like a good life, and then you just have one day where your last show ends at 1 a.m, or your last show ends at 11:30, and you go out and you get beers after, and then all of a sudden you're just tucking in at 3, and it just fucks everything up. Like if I do one day where I go to bed at 4, I know that I'm fucked for 2 days, but I can't stop doing it. I just love it.
Yeah, I think I'm happiest when it's like once or twice a month. I let myself party or drink, or I think that's like the sweet spot.
We've tripled that number in 7 days.
When it's when it's more than that, it kind of becomes a slight regret, and that's how I always determine if I'm in trouble or if I have a problem, is if I'm regretting decisions. Then it seems like, okay, well maybe I have an issue.
Maybe I'm making mistakes.
And it seems like if I let myself, once or twice a month have a bit of adult fun, I wake up and I'm like, I'm glad I had a good time. Now it's time to get back to work. But yeah, lately it's been going a little hard.
Yeah, I've kind of been having the urge to just lock in. As crazy as that sounds, what my brain wants to do right now is to stop going out and start just working my ass off again. I want to write 2 hours a day. I want to edit clips. I want to fucking get ahead.
But
just
then that's the other side of the spectrum. If you go months without allowing yourself to do anything, then it becomes the grind the opposite way.
Yeah, and there's also neutral stuff where you can just go to Zilker or go to Barton Springs and have a nice big day out. That's fucking great. But it's not I don't know. Those are the hardest days to have for me. Not they're the most productive. I never come out of them regretting it. But times where everyone hangs out, does something goes on a hike, or you go to the park with your friends, I always come out of that going, that was the move. I've never come out of that being I hated that. That was terrible.
Yeah.
But those are the things that I do probably the least, where it's not work and it's not partying. It's just hanging out, good, clean, sober fun during the day. And I never fucking do it. And I'm like, fuck, I should do that more. It's mushrooms. Mushrooms allow you to open that door the best, I think.
Yeah, I went climbing in Colorado a couple summers ago. Or maybe it was fall. But we took some mushrooms at the bottom of the mountain and then did this 5-hour hike. It's a good time.
Best thing ever.
It was fun.
It's great.
Fun, yeah.
Good, clean fun, dude. Breaking news, mushrooms are a good time. Alcohol is dangerous. There's some guy made this argument. I heard this the other day where he was breaking down why some of the dangers of alcohol. And one of the points that he made was he goes he was breaking down what percentage of violent crime gets committed in a state of intoxication on alcohol. What do you think the number is?
70%.
It estimates the ranges from 40 to 60% of all domestic violence cases include alcohol. Makes
sense. The other guys are the ones that we really need to worry about.
Yeah.
Just dead Mormons. Just shout out LDS. All right, should we wrap it?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.